Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone! First I want to introduce myself. My name is Andini Mokodompit, and today I want to share with you about 4 material. The first is poetry, the second is period of American literature, the third is period of English literature, and the last is phenomenology and criticism. Okay, we are going straight to our first material. It's poetry. That poetry has a difficult word, right? But I'm gonna tell you the meaning. The meaning is the writers at the sea nights, and he wanted to convey his strong desire to meet his lover, even thought he had to pass through the sea, even 3 fields, just to meet his beloved woman. I mean, that was a great poetry, that with a great meaning, and I think that was a true love. Next, in our second material, it's about period of American literature. In this period has divided into 8 periods, and the first is the colonial period, from 1607 to 1775. This period encompasses the founding of the Jamestown up to the Revolutionary Age. The majority of writings were historical, practical, and religious in nature. The first slave narrative, A Negro Man, was published in Boston in 1760. The second is the Revolutionary Age. It's from 1775 to 1790. Beginning a decade before the Revolutionary War and ending about 25 years later. This is arguably the richest period of political writing. Important works include the Declaration of Independence, the Federalist Paper, and poetry of Joel Barlow and Philip Vernon. The third is the early national period from 1775 to 1828. This era in American literature is responsible for notable first works, such as the first American comedy written for the stage. The Countess by Royal Thriller was published in 1787, and the first American novel, The Power of Sympathy by William Hill. The fourth is the American Renaissance, from 1828 to 1865. Also known as the Romantic period in America. This period is commonly accepted to be the greatest of the American literature. In 1853 and 1859 broke the first American African novel. The title is Clodagh and Arnick. The fifth is the realistic period from 1865 to 1900. This period, as a result of the American Civil War, Reconstruction, and the age of industrialism in this period, gave rise to regional writings such as the work of Sarah Orge, Kate Chopin, and others. The sixth is natural period, from 1900 to 1940. This relatively short period is identified by its intensities on recreation, like as life really is. And it further wrote some of his most beloved classics, such as The Custom of the Country was published in 1930, Eden Form was published in 1911, and House of Mirth was published in 1905 during this time of period. Okay, next to our third material for today, it's about period of English literature. In this period has divided into 10 periods, and the first is the Old English period from 450 to 1066. The Old English period, or the Anglo-Saxon period, refers to the literature produced from the invention of settling England in 1066 by William the Conqueror. One of the most well-known 18th century Old English piece of literature is Beowulf, a great Germanic epic poem. The second is the Middle English period, from 1066 to 1500. The Middle English period consists of the literature produced in the 4.5 centuries. The most widely known of these writings are Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales and others. The third is the Renaissance, from 1500 to 1660. Recently, critics and literary historians have begun to call this the early modern period, but here we retain the historical familiar term Renaissance. This period is often subdivided into 4 parts, include Elizabeth Age, the Jacobean Age, the Caroline Age, and the Commonwealth period. The fourth is the Neoclassical period, from 1600 to 1785. The Neoclassical period is also subdivided into age, include the Restoration, the August Age, the Age of Sensibility, and in this period, comedy developed during this time under the talent of William Conrad and John Dryden. The fifth is the Romantic period, from 1785 to 1832. The Romantic period starts from the French Revolution, and still others believe that 1798, the publication year from William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor's book called Prolapse. The sixth is the Victorian period, from 1832 to 1901. This period is named for the reign of Queen Victoria, who was knighted to the throne in 1837, and it lasts until her death in 1901. It was a time of a great social, religious, intellectual, and economic issue. The seventh is the Edwardian period, from 1901 to 1914. This period covered the period between Victoria's death and the outbreak of World War II. The era included incredible classic novelists such as Joseph Conrad, Ford Madox Ford, and others. The 80s, the Georgian period, from 1910 to 1936. Georgian poetry today is typically considered to be the works of minor poets, anthologized by Edward Morse. The theme and subject matter tended to be the rural or pastoral in nature. And the last is the postmodern period, from 1945 until now. The postmodern period begins about the time that World War II ended. Post-structuralist literary theory and criticism developed during this time. And this is it, our last material for today. It's about phenomenology and criticism. Phenomenology is a philosophy of experience. For phenomenology, the ultimate source of all meaning and value is the lived experience of human beings. The task of philosopher, according to the phenomenology, is to describe the structure of experience, in particular consciousness, the imagination, relation with other persons. Pure description of the phenomena given in consciousness would hostile belief, give philosopher a foundation of a necessary certain knowledge, and thoroughly justify the claim of philosophy to be more radical and all-encompassing than other disciplines. Well, every start have an ending, so this is our ending for for our material for today. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.